how do you mix, how do you manipulate sound, and so forth. So right now we're going to start with a theory, a few slides that I've worked on. So yeah, that's the intro right here. Then, oh, where's my mouse? Okay. So yeah, welcome. So what is sound? So sound is a vibration that moves through the air, picked up by our ears, converted into energy, which is sent through our nervous system, then to our brain. So whatever you hear, it is transmitted throughout your body from the ear and into the brain. So the brain can make up, what is this thing that I'm hearing? So it can distinguish between, oh, it's a dog, it's a cat, it's a car. That's how the sound travels from our natural ears. Right. Then we're going to go to our third slide. So when it comes to sound and the waves that are transmitted by sound, how do we capture that sound? So I want you to do a little exercise. Just put your hand over your vocal cords and hum, like, hmm. Can everybody do that? Okay, let's unmute your mics, everybody, and let's hum by putting our hand over our vocal cords, and we can feel the vibrations and waves in our throats. Yeah, can we do it? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm waiting for Jabu and John. And okay, we on? Okay, let's start. Like a deep hum, yeah. Okay, right, cool. We can switch off our mics. We can mute ourselves now. So, what did you hear? Obviously, there was vibrations all over your vocal cords. So that sound is what we call a wave that is made by your vocal cords contracting and expanding and pushing out air, which causes vibrations. So it's the same principle that is used when it comes to sound design. Energy is transformed from one type to another, and that is called a transduction, right? So with a microphone is used to pick up the energy and is converting it into electric energy, which is sent down the cable and recorded as a digital information. We're going to do all these things practically, right? And I'm going to show you guys practically what do we mean when we say sound and energy is converted into electric energy using a microphone to capture it. So what you did right there was the acoustic version of what we're doing. So we're going to go through this mouse keeps running away. So the way sound is captured digitally is taking a picture of amplitude of the incoming sound, then 10 times per second. So how we measure sound is like when you see a flip book, right? And all these pictures are coming all at once at nanoseconds. That's how sound is delivered and is measured, right? So what do I do as a sound designer? So my role is basically to create sound for film, for games, for theater, for radio, for television, for digital video, etc. Then what I do is really create and sculpture sound that suits the medium and that suits the concept of whatever project I'm working on. So that's my job, to make sure that the sound and the quality is there and it is delivered in a medium that everybody is impressed with and they like it and the client is happy. That's what my work is. So we're gonna do a practical thing, right? So, hey, Zoom young shy. So I'm gonna share another screen where we are, where we're gonna do the practical side of what we just spoke about. Can everybody see the screen?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to sound design, there are different types of digital audio workstations that one can use, right? So what I use and have been using for the longest of time, it's a program called Fruity Loops. So with Fruity Loops, you can record, you can make music, you can edit. Then there are other stuff that the other digital audio workstations that you can also use, like Cubase, Pro Tools, but mostly Logic and Pro Tools are for Apple Mac, for those who are using Macs. And the likes of Fruity Loops and Cubase and all the other stuff is good for Microsoft. So for the longest of time, I've used Fruity Loops, but anybody can use what they feel is good for them and what they feel really brings the best out of their work. So for me, Fruity Loops is easy, and I find it easy to use and to migrate between all these other stuff. So yeah, we're gonna start with recording a wave, right? So I recorded a wave earlier today. I want everybody to see this. This is what a wave looks like, right? So we're gonna play it and everybody, so I decided to do like a little, a little voiceover for an advert concerning drinking and driving, since we are back at level 3 and everyone is drinking. So I decided to do that. So I recorded the wave this morning, so I hope you guys can hear it. From Soweto, while driving back home from a late night with friends, a big surprise was laying on the corner. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, maybe put it a little bit louder next this time.
Yeah, put it a little bit louder.
Okay. This is Thabo, a 27-year-old from Soweto. While driving back home from a late night with friends, a big surprise was laying on the corner. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we did.
Okay. So what I'm taking you through now is a process that we call voice over recording, where you're going to record voices over, let's say there's a concept or a project, like I said, let's say it's drinking and driving by a certain company. So this is the process that you'll go through. So you'll get a brief from the client that will tell you what they want, and the story behind everything. So it's about blackmail, coming from a party and having a car accident, and they want everybody to be aware of that. So, okay, fine. We've got the picture, we've got the story. Is a 27-year-old male from Soweto. So what do they listen? What do black males from the hood, from the township listen to? Well, they listen to a whole lot of different dance music, a whole lot of hip hop and stuff, but you have to cater for what the client wants. So I imagined, let's say a client wanted a dance listening Thabo who comes from a club with friends, and I need to find the music that will match the character of the story, right? So I created the music for the character. Can you hear it? Can you guys hear that?
No, just turn it up. We can't hear the anything.
Right. Did you hear that now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. So now that we've got the concept and we've got the sound that we want. We have to blend in with the story of Thabo coming from a party, and he's in a rush and he wants to go home and sleep. But now we need to create a scene where there will be an unfortunate car accident because of drinking and driving. So with that, there are many sound bites that you can use and samples that you can use and to create a scene like that. So I'm gonna play a sound bite that I've created that explains an accident or a car accident scene, right? So did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So with everything combined, we are starting to build on this concept of Thabo drinking and driving and the accident. So I'm going to play everything at once so that you can hear the whole concept when it's finalized, but we're still going to talk about how we're going to mix it together so that everything equalizes and sounds perfect. So can I do that? Yeah.
This is Thabo, a 27-year-old from Soweto. While driving back home from a late night with friends, a big surprise was laying on the corner.
So that's how these adverts are being recorded via audio and via voiceover. So typically you would do this for a radio ad, and you can also do it for a TV ad where they take the audio and mixes with the visuals. So you record the audio first, then they will play out and record record the visuals when it comes to that. So that's what I did this morning. I created a little soundbite involving voiceover recording and digitally manipulating sounds so that I can create a story. All right. Are we still together, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody have a question?
So, quick question from me. I don't know if anybody else has one, but I wanted to find out what is the best way to go about this. Let's say you wanted to create a animation, right? Is it better to first have the visual than to have the sound, or does it matter? Or should you be working in parallel with the visual designer, well, with the illustrator?
For me, the best way is to really have the brief describing what are we doing in terms of the animation, and also having the video, so that when I do create the music or when I do create the audio, it becomes easier for me and some things don't overlap, so that when you hear a car moving, I can put it on there. And when I hear something else like a bird that's chirping, I can put it there. And it's not a back and forth where I create the sound, but the visuals don't really correlate with the sound. So for me personally, I want the videos and the animation to come to me, then I can start editing while I'm watching what I'm doing. Is it clear?
Like I understand it, but based on what you just showed us now, I can imagine a different visual being inspired if you start with the sound first, and then they add in the visual afterwards, because
Yeah.
because I mean
There's no, yeah, okay, cool.
oh sorry.
No, there's no set way of how can one work? There's no set way, there's no rule. So even with this, I mean, I started with the sound, and also I can send it to a videographer, then they can start shooting for the sound. So what you're saying, it can happen vice versa. We don't have to have a one set way rule of how we can do production when it comes to audio and visual. So But the most important thing is for us, if we're going to work together, let's say we're working together on a concept, you come up with a concept and you come to me and tell me, this is how I want it to sound like. So when I have at least a visual understanding of what you want the product to sound like, then I can start working on the audio and you can edit and create it the way that you want it. So there's no set rule of how we can do it, but either way, we can work on it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other question?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So what would then, I'm thinking about it as layers. When you have to add other voices, let's say that this guy is now talking to other people in the car, that all will be different sound bites.
Yeah, it will be
different in different places.
Yeah. So with that, then we'll have to, okay. Which screen am I sharing? Okay, let me share the screen. So with that, can you see the screen that I'm sharing right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that, let's say there's different other people that are talking in the car and they're having conversations and he's getting distracted and causes an accident. Then we will edit that audio differently from his, and we will add oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, can you see what I've just opened now? Let me open it again. So what we'll do is to edit whatever audio that we find from the other people in the car. So for the voiceover that I've recorded, I've put in a compressor that will make the sound bigger and stronger. But let's say we're editing it for something that has an echo or something that's like from afar. Let me look for something like this. Okay, so here, right, I've added an effect. It's called a fruity chorus, right? So when you listen to the audio, there are different effects that we can use.
This is Tabo, a 27-year-old from Soweto. While driving back home from late night with friends, a big surprise was laying on the corner.
All right. So with the different effects that we have on our digital audio workstation, you can manipulate sound to make them sound the way that you want the story to go. So with this one, it's called Fruity Chorus, and I'll just switch up.
This is Tabo, a 27-year-old from Soweto. While driving back home from a late night with friends, a big surprise was laying on the corner.
So there's different ways that you want to manipulate the sound, and some sounds, as you were pointing out, that some people in the car, you want them to be in the background, and some voices will be in the front. So that's part of mixing. So when you mix the sounds together according to the story and how you want the story to end or how it wanted to build up, then you'll mix it in different ways. So there are many things called VST plugins, which they are used to manipulate sound so to great effect. So let's say I'm gonna try another one called a gross beat. So a gross beat, you can chop and manipulate sounds. Let's start it.
It's really so weird,
right? So it's super cool. So it's super cool until you find the one that you really want and the effects that you want on the audio when it comes to delivering it. All right, are we cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a question here on the chat.
Okay.
Could we see how to make one of your tracks from scratch?
From scratch, okay.
From Nigelo.
Oh, okay. So Okay. So what I usually do, because I'm like when it comes to music and stuff, there's a way on which I operate. And there's sample packs that I buy from this other audio recording station that I buy from. So what I do is buy a whole lot of sample packs, whether it's for sounds, whether it's for effects, or whether it's for music, then I use those, right? Let me open up. It's fine. So I'm gonna open up one that I used before. So let me close this and open it. So there are different ways where you can use MIDI, which is your keyboards, with but for me, I like using stuff that I can buy, which is like royalty-free samples. And I can use those to create sounds and to create beats and music that people can listen to buy and to vibe with. So I'm going to show you one that I did way back, but not so long ago. So these sample packs are royalty free, meaning nobody's going to sue you for using them because you paid for them, right? So we're going to start at it. So this is the sample, right? Open up. Okay, so we got that sample. Then what I did was I chopped up the sample in a way that would make sense for me to make a beat from it, right? So I played around with the certain notes. Until I found this one. All right, did everybody hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So it's all about manipulation when it comes to sampling, because sampling is a serious art. And from there on, what I do is to build up and make a beat from the sample that we've just chopped up, right? So I use kicks, snares, and hi-hats to manipulate the sound, make it groovy and very vibey. So these are the kicks that I used, right? So we're just gonna play the kicks alone. So those are the kicks, but I play the kicks while listening to what I'm creating. Right. So when it comes to kicks, snares, hi-hats, everything that you use to build up a beat, you have to be careful of how you use a swing. So a swing is what we call the thing that gives the beat the edge, that gives the beat the rhythm. So if, let's say this is the swing here at the top. So if I open the swing up until the last level, so the kicks are moving and dragging in a different way. And when I decrease it, they swing different. So I don't like to use swing a lot because it makes your kicks and your snares to drag a bit, and so they don't sit well on the mix. So I like to keep it at a 0. So from there on, I listen and I add my snare, you know. All right, that's the snare. Then I have the hi-hat. So the hi-hat is the jingle, you know, the thing that puts everything together. Right. So for this particular beat, I didn't use a lot because I'm going to show you guys after this whole thing of why I didn't use a lot, because I was using it for another client who was doing a fashion documentary piece, and they didn't want all of the stuff that I've created here. So they sent it back and like, okay, just give us the melody. We just want the melody because the other stuff was disturbing the whole flow of the work. So, but since we're here and we're listening to it, I want us to hear it, everything that we've just spoken about, and so that you get a clear idea of how everything works, right? So we're gonna put it on a song. Yeah, this is a new fruity. Yeah, I'm an old school guy. You see, I'm in a friend's studio and he's using new stuff that I don't know. So yeah, this is how it looks. Yes, so that's the beat in its totality, but I didn't add a whole lot of stuff to it. Usually I would add another bass line or anything like that, but in terms of this one, because of what it was supposed to be doing for the other project, not a lot was added to it. Let's go to another one. So I'll play you some of the beats that are made for this project I'm talking about, and we're gonna see visuals of it and how everything came together using these beats. Right. All right, we're still cool. We're still together. Are we still there?
Yeah, we're enjoying it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yep, still here.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, so for different purposes, you do music for that, and it really depends on what the person you're working with wants and how they want their product to be delivered, and visually or in terms of audio. So the beats I'm showing you guys now are a product for this other client that I worked with before. So I'm going to show you the videos and everything when it's in sync and when everything is done. So for this one, okay. I'm going to play just So what I did here, I manipulated the sound because the original sound is sounding so I wanted to switch it up a bit and I added a pitch. So a pitch is something that plays around with the harmonics of the sound. So when you listen, let's say let's turn the pitch down low so you can hear it.
We can't hear
it. Very soft, eh?
We can't hear it.
So when you turn it up, this is the original level.
We can't hear a thing.
Yeah?
We can't hear it.
You can't hear it. Oh, the speaker's off. Sorry. So, oh yeah, let's go back. This is the original pitch. Like, let's say the pitch is down low. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Louder.
Yeah, it's quite soft.
Louder, please.
Okay. Let's... Did you hear that, guys?
Yep.
Okay. So let's play. We're playing around with the pitch and how we can manipulate sounds, right? So let's take it to a medium. Right? This is the original pitch. So what I did was to chop up the sample so I can get different sound bites that I can use to make a beat from scratch, right? So now I said, okay, I want this to be higher and I'll feel comfortable working from that angle. So this is how it sounds when I made the pitch go to the highest level that I wanted. Yeah, so from then on, that's the one. So from then on, I built up on it. So this is the sample right here. Right, right? So I wanted to add on it, as usual, I start with the kicks. I started with the kick and the snare. Yeah. So after that, I added my snares and yeah. Can everybody hear that?
Yep.
Right. Yeah. But solely for the purpose of what I wanted to achieve for this other project that I worked for. They didn't use everything that I brought onto the table because they only wanted the sample and the vibe that it brought to the project. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next one that I did for them. Here it is. So it takes time for you to get the right feel of what of a project that you're working on or what a client really wants, because this is not the only way to make the music, because there's MIDI as well, where you use live instruments, or if you can't play any instruments, you can get a session artist to come in and you can work on the music together, depending on what you want to achieve with them. So this is not the only way that you can do this, but for the sake of being in a digital format, this is how I do my stuff, because I used to play, but now I don't play anymore. It's hard. Playing live instruments, you have to be dedicated. So for this one as well, I didn't do much because of what they really wanted. It was all about a vibe of fashion, music, women in fashion, women from different walks of life, all participating in the culture of fashion, and their stories being different. So it's cool. So yeah, there's another one that I made for them. those are the 3 examples that I have for you when it comes to the production side of making the music from scratch. Then I want to play you guys. I want to share a screen. Okay, before I share a screen, I want to share the videos and the visuals behind this music that I was just showing you guys. I hope everyone can see it.
Dear Yasmin, there are far too many things to warn you about, to admonish, to steer a younger you away from certain decisions, to follow a certain path. Whatever I say to you, know this. Your mistakes, your failures and successes, your lack of self-belief, your inability to recognize that you are an incredible and intelligent young woman, will be exactly what propelled your journey toward your assertiveness, toward your inner strength and self-confidence, toward your recognition that growth is a continuum, toward your ability to speak your beliefs, and to know that you will always be the best version of you. Your mistakes and failures will inform the woman you become, so don't ever be afraid to make them. My name is Yasmin, and I was born to be different.
So did you guys see that one?
Very cool.
Yeah. That's one of the songs that I played for you guys when I was manipulating the voices in terms of the pitch and stuff. So they used that sound and they combined it with the visuals to bring out the fashion aesthetic that they were really pushing for this particular fashion campaign by another company. So I did a few for them. And actually the beats that I just played for you guys, they use them for their projects. So I'm going to play you another one.
Dear Tina, ungumntwana kamamako, fully, wholly, and unapologetically. You've always been inspired by her poise, the classy way in which she carries herself, and how deliberate every footstep she has taken on this earth is and has been. You've always struggled with owning that little tomboy girl inside of you. Patriarchy has robbed you of owning yourself, and like never before, you're aware of this. This is your power. Your clothes have become your armor. You realized you were different from the innocent age of 5 years old. Observing how the people you looked up to helped themselves, how well they held up their broken walls, and how they refused to dismantle their ideas of traditional selves. You're not like this. You are driven by your ancestors. The women in your family are healers. You are a healer. You're infused with energies you cannot comprehend yet, but you continue to flow, to embrace every moment so that you can clearly understand this gift. When you wake up, you choose your lines, the textures and the colors which make you feel good. You choose the stories in your clothes over the quality. And with each garment, you collect memories. You struggle to let go, but I know you'll learn to give these pieces of you to deserving energies who will continue to build onto these stories. Even when you're gone, these parts of you will be buried in the seams of all parts of you, left behind in the memories of the hand-picked garments that made you feel good. Your armor. Never forget your healing power. It is in everything you touch. It was passed on from your mother and from her mother. You come from a family of healers. Remember this when you put on your armor. This place, Joburg, was the first place I found that I could express myself without being judged. Like my clothes, it comes with its own textures and memories. Every corner, a story. Every room, peacefulness. It is my home away from home. I know I'm safe here. There's a community for me here. A home. My name is Tina, and I was born to be different.
Okay, guys. So with these visuals, what happened is they sent me the visuals, but they didn't have the ad-libs. So I had to create these beats looking at the visuals that they gave me. And they only put the voiceovers at the end in post-production. So yeah, I created that as it's my way of creating, but I also going back to what Shares asked me, whether I could create a sound before even seeing the visuals, but I'll just need because I'm a visual person, I'll just need the colors. What do you want to express when it comes to whatever you want us to create? Then I can start doing, then I can start doing the work. I'm gonna play you the last one from the beats that we were listening to today. Yeah.
Dear Zazi, you are unique and peculiar. Accept your peculiarity. It's what makes you you. Your gap tooth, your boyish body, big size, big feet, all of them, they are yours. Your name is Zazi, which means know yourself, believe in yourself, trust yourself, love yourself. And in Nigeria, they say Zazi means a mirror of beauty. Like Coco Chanel said, in order to be irreplaceable, you have to be different. It comes naturally to you to dress because you're true to yourself and connected to your core. And while people find it unique and different, you find it normal and comfortable. You're simply living your life and allowing life to happen. We are born for a purpose, and it's for you to find that purpose and use it wisely. Forgive yourself when you make mistakes, for no one is perfect. Connect with yourself daily so that you don't lose who you really are. The more connected you are, the more you attract the right things in your life. The real you is in you. Don't stop looking at the mirror to see what you're becoming so you don't lose sight of who you are. Be soft. Do not let the world make you hard. Do not let pain make you hate. Do not let bitterness steal your sweetness. The sun is a daily reminder that we too can rise again from the darkness, that we too can shine our own light. Keep shining. You are kind, you are caring, you are loving. Do not blend in. Do not copy them. Be ungovernable when you're doing what you love. That's your power. It is you against you. Make sure you keep winning. Stand for what is right, even if it means standing alone. You need to understand that life is not what you are given, but it's what you create. My name is Zazi, and I was born to be different.
Yes. Sorry about the feedback. So yeah, guys, that's it from my side.
Thank you so much. It was so cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thanks, guys. I'm glad to everybody enjoyed that, and at least you saw the other side, the other side of the sound design and how everything comes together and how visuals and sound interact. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, guys. Any questions for the last time, or?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just yeah. So if you get the audio first, I mean the video with the audio recording, that would be separate, so that you can work on the audio and the levels and stuff. So that someone's recording ad, like that ad that you had in the beginning. So someone would have to have the audio separate. So that also goes for podcasts and stuff. I don't know what I'm asking, but I think you might know what I'm
asking. Yes, everything is separate when it comes to audio. The whole concept behind what you are asking me is that when you get visuals and the voiceover and stuff, everything is separate. Yes, everything is separate. Then there's a file that I requested where everything was in sync so that I could play around with the sound and see what can be done or what can be achieved. So when it comes to podcasts, you record first, right? Then you do the mixing, which is leveling the volumes of the voice and the background music and whatever music you want to be played in the background, and to make it audible so that everybody can get it and everybody can hear it. And it's part of mixing. That's called post-production, where the audio gets mixed and it gets mastered so that it sounds so proper to the standard and the quality that is the benchmark where everybody else goes, in the world. So yeah, that's post-production. That's mixing and mastering the audio. And because I don't deal with the visual editing, someone will edit. I'll give them the audio after I've mixed it and mastered it, and they will put it frame by frame on the visual mixer. Right. So when you have a video and you have the audio, I mix the audio and I give it back to you as a visual mixer. Then you'll mix it together with the visuals so that everything is in sync and everything is audible and it makes sense. Yeah. Any other question? Does it make sense? Do you understand what I was saying?
Yes.
Don't say thank you here.
No, I get it.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I like your entrepreneurial approach to how you're doing it now, buying beats and improving them. I'm sure over time that's a method you developed. So how would you advise someone who wants to maybe take music up professionally? What's the best course of study or approach?
With everything, there has to be school. Thank you for the question. There has to be school because I studied sound engineering at the Academy of Sound Engineering here in Johannesburg. So for you to get to the basics and the knowledge of how music or sound works, you need to go to a school that will train you and train your ear and into developing you as an engineer as well. Because being an engineer means you are training constantly, you're training your ear constantly for it to pick up variables of sound and how you can combine everything to make a quality product. So for anyone who wants to take up sound, just go online, search for the best schools that are out there that are giving sound engineering. Yeah. And but for me now, what I want to do is really get into movie scoring. So that's the next big step for me, to really score movies and to go deeper into the audio and visual space. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice. I don't know what else to say. Like every time I'm watching each of the videos, I'm like, oh, now I see how everything goes together. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
I think you really broke it down nicely for us, so that even though we don't have the same sort of professional background like you explained it in a way that was easy to digest and easy for us to follow along. And I love that you broke it up into pieces. So yeah, well done. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, guys.
Can I
do
request,
music production. Yeah?
Can I just request like one last beat? Just a beat that's just gonna play everything.
Okay. Since we are here.
The sound is low. We can't hear it.
Oh, sorry. The speakers were off. Ish. Ish. I was getting carried away here.
Thank